Hello, dear friends. We know what may happen, but we don't know details, and the devil is in the details. Opinion piece. Systemic fragility. Trigger. The Achilles heel. Crisis of confidence. Systemic trigger. New solar storm. Let's start. The Achilles heel of the global financial system is something as simple as confidence. So, a crisis of confidence in the banking sector triggers a crisis of the system, and a total loss of confidence would bring about the total collapse of the system. This would be the trigger for the crash. A trigger would be something capable of producing an explosion or a collapse of the system in this case. Another Achilles heel of the global financial system would be the interconnectedness and interdependence of financial markets, which could lead to a rapid and wide spread of economic risks. Today, the global financial system is highly interconnected due to the globalization of financial markets, the rapid evolution of information technologies, and the increasing complexity of financial products. This interconnectedness can be beneficial for the efficiency and growth of the financial system, but it could also be detrimental in the event of a financial crisis. A problem in one financial market can affect other markets and other countries, which could lead to a global financial crisis. Moreover, the increasing complexity of financial products and investment practices could make it more difficult to identify and manage risks. 3 triggers. There is no single trigger that could cause the financial system to collapse, as it could be the result of a combination of interacting factors and events. However, there are some economic, financial, and political conditions that could increase the risk of a financial crisis, such as the following 3. First, economic overheating. A sustained and rapidly growing economy can lead to overvaluation of assets and increased indebtedness, which increases the vulnerability of the financial system. Second, speculative bubbles. A speculative bubble occurs when asset prices rise excessively due to unrealistic investor expectations. If the bubble bursts, prices could fall sharply and cause a financial crisis. Third, sovereign debt crisis. If a major country goes bankrupt or defaults on its debt, this could trigger a global financial crisis, especially if banks and other investors have large exposures to that debt. Trigger. According to Peter B. Mayer, a trigger has been prepared to collapse the debt monetary system and introduce the new global financial system, which provides stability of value to all currencies by hedging with gold and silver. This trigger is set to go off the moment the dark side is completely neutralized. The next new era would be heralded by an infusion of abundance. This prosperity is due in large part to the perseverance of the Earth allies and to the strategy initiated many centuries ago by the Ascended Masters. They were able to bring to this planet a new financial and monetary plan called QFS in order to bring abundance to all. The iniquitous ones are now in total panic, trying to cling to whatever semblance of control they believe they still have. They thought nothing of awakening the population, nor did they think of the freedom fighters. We are taking back our control on many levels, because they are no match for all of us together, awake and united against them. Together, we are capable of freeing planet Earth from the evil that has haunted us for thousands of years, of centuries, I mean. Once Gisra is in place, that will free the people of Earth from poverty to slavery, and slavery, so that they can devote themselves fully to their final task of planetary transformation, which means, among other things, no more wars. It also means currencies backed by gold and silver that cannot be manipulated, and the provision of well-paying jobs. New technologies will be available, such as free energy, environmental purification, flying cars, and travel through time and to other stars. It will be the beginning of a new unstoppable era, not only for the people of this planet, but also for all other civilizations with which we interact. When GISARA comes into effect, the world and all star nations will be positively affected. Advances in astronomy, anthropology, and archaeology and Egyptology are already supporting the exopolitical thesis based mainly on translations of Sumerian writings. The Sumerian explanation of the origin and creation of humankind is fascinating. Opinions. Puffin said, "There is a lot of fish to fry and a lot of cleaning up to do before anything can be done with any of the current stuff. We know you are all tired. It's still going to happen, but we don't know the timing yet. Continue to hold on peacefully. The light is not far away." Conflict by Steve Biko. Since the galactics obey universal laws, only we don't, they have to allow us our free will even to enslave each other. According to the law of karma, it's our planet. We broke it and we have to fix it. But Gaia has a say in that too. In the end, her wishes override ours, and Gaia wants to put an end to it. According to Ranra, the White Hats have been tasked with keeping the ascension of the material side in balance with the ascension of the spiritual side. But they have been unable to do so far, by failing to introduce the material side of the new civilization. Therefore, it is time for the beings who are in the vanguard of the spiritual side to extend a helping hand to the beings who are supposed to be in the vanguard of the material side of ascension, that is, the coalition. Reset News. According to Mark Zira, the window is wide open according to all his sources. We do not yet know what that means in terms of timing. The window of opportunity and the dates being thrown out are to catch the rats. The window is wide open, but the shutter is stuck. Goldilocks believes the restart will end on June 30th. There is still a lot of fish to fry. Charlie Watt says that citizens are not awake enough and that the central bank digital currency will be allowed to happen to wake people up. According to Judy Bington, the following nations are insolvent and cannot continue without the reset: USA, Canada, Europe, UK, Israel, Taiwan, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. According to Gregory Mannarino, reality and everything else is close to madness. According to Mannarino, a crisis of confidence will lead to a financial collapse. Get ready for a commodity supercycle of massive proportions, says Mannarino. Davos Forum orders governments to ban independent media and make it illegal to read non-mainstream news sources. Solar storm just hit the Earth. A coronal mass ejection hit the Earth on 9th May at 23:10 UT. The impact did not cause an immediate geomagnetic storms, but storms are brewing as the Earth passes through the solar storm's highly magnetized wake. Skywatchers at high latitudes should be on the lookout for auroras on May 9th and 10th. Economy. Banking turmoil shakes the quiet corner of preferred shares. Wall Street closes lower on inflation data. Wall Street fears default and falls sharply. Wall Street leaders warn of unthinkable consequences if the US defaults. G7 financial leaders prepare to deal with banking risks and debt stalemate. Sinfu says 2,315 banks are potentially insolvent due to higher interest rates. The Fed's rate hikes have caused many banks' assets to implode, and if bank runs continue, we could see more collapses and consolidations. Basel IV is the implementation of Basel III. We are in the revaluation of everything that ends on 30th June. The next steps will be the full implementation of Basel IV. The new rules on the banking system will affect the markets, creating new algorithms and the new liquidity and forging new paths into uncharted territory. Zimbabwe has launched new digital tokens backed by gold. It is a move to replace the country's real currency, the Zimbabwe dollar. Zimbabwe is active on many platforms around the world with their gold-backed currency tokens. They want the new BRICS Development Bank to help finance this project. USA. Judge finds Donald Trump responsible for sexuality assaulting writer E. Jean Carroll. In quotes, "I have no idea who this woman is," he declared. Fed reveals 722 banks reported unrealized losses of more than half of capital as concern grows over banking crisis. Biden and Republicans meet a month after default with no deal in sight. Biden demands to be allowed to issue bonds with nothing in return, but Republicans threaten the latter if they get nothing in return. The administration is losing in the debt ceiling fight, and now they will try to extend it into the autumn. Red October. Nobel economist Paul Krugman says the possibility of default is very real. California is preparing to pay black reparations at the same time it has defaulted on his debt, according to the X22 report. California defaults on $18.6 billion in debt, saddling employers with the expense. This in turn increases unemployment, raises the daily cost of everything, and increases pressure on banks for defaulting on loans and the daily expenses of a state government, such as unemployment insurance, health care, and food aid. According to Mike Adams, RFK Jr. is very accessible and knowledgeable on a wide range of issues. He's running for president on the Democratic ticket, and the establishment is doing its best to silence him by cancelling debates. Gold. Gold closes at record highs on the de-dollarization and banking uncertainty. China has just made money in gold again, according to Arcadia Economics. China's commercial banks have just created the possibility for renminbi savings accounts to be linked to gold accounts, so that Chinese citizens can buy gold directly from their savings accounts. Chinese police detain a man suspected of using the artificial intelligence ChatGPT. Texas committee approves bill to recognize gold and silver as a legal tender. On May 2nd, a Texas House of Representatives committee approved a bill number HB 4903 to create gold and silver-backed reserved currencies. The creation of state-issued gold and silver-backed digital currencies would create currency competition with Fed notes and undermine the monopoly of money if the Fed implements central bank digital currency. 25 states have agreed to print their own gold and silver coins under the Constitution. How long can a PayPal dollar compete with the launch of gold-backed digital currencies issued by sovereign interchangeable states? Goldilocks continues to say that the global reset will end on June 30th. Markets have a mixed opening as the debt ceiling is becoming clear. We are at a crossroads. It will take large sums of money and the use of commodity markets to create a technological society. Progress will require creativity beyond imagination. Everyone is going to have a step forward no matter what decisions are made. All roads lead to gold. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.